So my name is Javier, and this is the Capital Report. We're here on a Tuesday, killing it. It's actually pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole Netflix acquisition with Warner Bros. Putting a bid and all of that. So Trump actually just came out and said that he might be involved in that acquisition. If you purchase Netflix stock when they split, like maybe like a week or two ago, you are feeling the burn right now because they've been selling off ever since that announcement. And now that, so the stock was like $1,000 a share. When they do, like, let's say, for example, you own one share of Netflix at $1,000 a share. When the stock splits, you don't get any more stock. They just split your one share into 10 shares worth 100. So they did a 10-for-1 split. So like, numerically speaking, like value-wise, you didn't get anything. You didn't lose anything. Nothing happened. But it just becomes cheaper to buy the shares for people who don't own Netflix shares. So like, say, for example, I don't own Netflix shares and I want to buy Netflix shares. Now to buy one share of Netflix is like whatever it is, $96 now, because it came down. It was like 100 and almost like 101, right? So it went down a couple percent ever since that whole acquisition, the news. But it's cheaper for me to buy one share of Netflix. It's only $96 versus $996 it would have been pre-split. So that's basically. So not necessarily. Just because you have a stock split, that's like the big game with like between retail and like smart money. It's like normal people would look at some situation like that and, oh my God, Netflix is good. They just did a 10-for-1 stock split. It's cheaper for me to buy the stock. It might be good. But reality, it's a sign of like deleveraging, and they're just trying to get more retail investors to like basically offload their shares on them. So like while you're buying basically the top, and then they do all these deals, and now it's a merger and all this stuff, but that's like big antitrust now. Like the picture like Google and Meta combining. Like we already pay for high prices for the Netflix subscription, right? How many people out there have a Netflix subscription of someone else and they don't pay their own Netflix, right? No one pays for their own Netflix. So if Netflix owns the entire streaming market other than Disney, they could charge us $30 a month and we really can't say anything, unless it goes to antitrust court. So that's, I think, why Trump got involved with it. So he's like, yo, like we can't have this company worth hundreds of billions of dollars and take over the entire internet streaming system. Only one government, you know what I'm saying? Only one company. So we'll see what happens. Like maybe they do let it happen and maybe that happens. But for now, since it's up in the air, people have been selling the stock and the stock's been going down. So the people who bought at the top are feeling it right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's just like another example of how the government's getting in the markets. And there's opportunity if you're a trader or if you're someone who is paying attention, because if they say, like, for example, with that, when Trump went to go buy 10% of Intel, when he did that back in August, if you look at the chart of Intel, it's been almost nothing but up ever since that investment was made. So if you've been paying attention, you could have made a lot of money investing in Intel ever since then. So I just feel like right now in these next couple of years is going to be the best opportunity to make money no matter what you're doing, whether you're expanding your network or taking on a new skill that might be tough, like paying attention to the market and trying to trade and grow your wealth online. It's going to be great because there's so much volatility. There's so much, a Truth Social could drop in 20 minutes and everything changes. Like that's something to always be aware of and not be over leveraged in anything you do. Like don't buy new cars and buy new houses. And if you have money, like now's the time to make smart investments, not silly things. This is actually something that happened recently, and I might go viral for this, but I don't want no smoke with her, but I have to say it. Have you guys heard of the entrepreneur Shelby Sapp? Do you know who that is? It's that girl who bought the big bedazzled pink Rolls Royce, and then now she just bought the old pink G-Wagon. You know what I'm talking about? So she's been viral on the internet for a couple of weeks or months, obviously now, because she's dating that famous fitness influencer. But when she bought that Rolls Royce, she made a video about how her accountant was like shitting on her and like giving her bad advice, and all the comments were like flaming her. So she fired that accountant, right? And she got a new accountant. And when she posted the video of her getting the new G-Wagon, like she's been posting it nonstop for like a week, trying to promote to get more money back. But like I commented on one of her pictures, on that picture when she posted it, and I was like, she just bought a bedazzled Rolls Royce. Why are you buying a G-Wagon? And then she commented under, like she responded to me, and she was like, I had to sell my Rolls Royce. What does it matter to you? So I told her, I basically said, like, this is exactly what's wrong with the influencer culture. Like, if you have so much money, you have all these investments, and you're this popular, literally she's at the top of like the sales world, for sales guru world, right? For the girls, and she's super motivational. And she was super happy when she got the Rolls Royce. And I was like, damn, I love to see young girls winning and just taking over. But at the same time, she said that she had to sell it. And now she's super, super happy about the G-Wagon. Like, those kinds of extremes shouldn't be like every day. Like, you shouldn't need that much like glamour to prove that you have value in the marketplace. If she's a smart girl, you don't need to buy these extremely expensive things that you end up being over leveraged financially.
She also knows her market, though. Her market likes shiny things.
Right, her market might like shiny things, but at the cost of her own personal finance to keep up the game, that's not sustainable long term, right? So that's what I said in the post, and she never responded after. I said, if the justification for you buying this pink G-Wagon is tax depreciation, fire your new accountant, because he's wrong, just like she fired the one that's before, because she fired her old accountant and she has a new one. So if you're selling your Rolls Royce at a loss to go roll it into a G-Wagon, and then that's the new thing, how much negative equity and depreciation are you rolling into it? Because you're only buying that car. That's custom. That's one of one. You're not selling that to anyone else.
That's actually where, from car guy to car guy, I'm going to hop in and tell you this. I personally think she made a smart choice. Why?
Okay, why?
Because her Rolls Royce was not a one of one. Her Rolls Royce was a depreciating asset the second it came off the lot. That G-Wagon is a one of one collector's item, a bespoke edition. I think that's going to hold its value way better than the Rolls Royce was. Not only that, it's a G-Wagon. G-Wagons just naturally known to hold their value, especially if you have one of the AMGs or one of the the Brawl Bus, any of the specialty G-Wagons.
So buy that G-Wagon first.
I would have bought the G-Wagon.
Buy the G-Wagon first. Don't buy the Rolls Royce because you feel pressured into buying something expensive and fancy, and then have to roll it into something probably cheaper. That Rolls Royce was probably $350,000, $500,000 with all that bedazzle and.
They're both around the same price.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you lost money somewhere if it's the same price.
Very true.
You know? So all I'm saying is, if that's the way that she wants to run her finance, that's cool. That's her decision. But she has hundreds of thousands of followers, all of people who look up to her. And she has, not just her. This isn't just to pick on Shelby Sapp, but this is an example of the influencer culture at a large, that it's always the flashy cars and the expensive lifestyles and the Miami penthouses. But when reality sets in, less than 5, if not 1 or 2% of the people who are chasing those dreams are ever going to realistically achieve them, if they think that the next best measure of how far they got is the next expensive thing. Like, you need to be growing your network in a way that, if the people around you are telling you that the only way that what you say has importance is if you have a $250,000 car, they're the wrong people. And they're the wrong accountants, and they're the wrong people in your lives that are telling you to be that way, because that's not what life is about. That's not all that life is about. It's cool. If you're a millionaire and you're young, you're going to buy nice cars. You're going to have real estate. You're going to do all of that cool shit. But not at the expense where it trips you up trying to get advanced long term. So I just think it's important to be mindful, because not everyone who follows her got that kind of money. A lot of people are going to go into the dealerships and go buy those beater $30,000, $40,000 M cars to try to just say, I got an M car. You know what I mean? So it's like that culture that you got to switch around and say, I'm not worried about just the Instagram lifestyle with the cars and the women and the clubs. It's like I'm actually focused on trying to build a business that I could build connections with people. And you never know. Like you meet lifelong friends, you meet doctors, you meet people that could save your life one day if you build the right connections and you get money and you bring value to those people. So I just feel like that's give and take in that situation. But
Well, hopefully her new accountant approved the purchase.
yeah, hopefully he approved the purchase. Let me see here. Also, I was going to bring about a certain mindset I wanted to share when it comes to finance. Because I've seen some charts lately that people are starting to take withdrawals from their IRAs and their 401ks because of how hard the times are right now. And I think while it's always important to be saving and investing for hard times so that you have money to fall back on and have credit to fall back on, but it's also important how you invest and how you make that money available to you. So I think like literally people do not read. If you have the average job, I don't think you read like that folder that tells you about what you're investing in. Like the average person is not paying attention to that. They're not monitoring every 3 or 6 or 12 months, maybe a year. Maybe once a year, the average person will check up on their investments and things like that. But I think you lose so much money in the fees and not paying attention to what your money is invested in versus just investing in it yourself. Taking your own Roth IRA, your own self-directed Roth IRA, and just invest yourself. Do your own research and find out more about the market, more about gold and silver, things that are important in finance, instead of just paying high fees and letting, the bigger management companies do it. If you don't have time, that's fine, but you still should dedicate more time to at least paying attention to where your money is being moved and marketed. Because at the end of the day, you need to make sure that if you're investing steadily and continually, you have to have money set aside and you have to know, okay, if I need to take a withdrawal, I have a large sum because I invested in the right things. Now, investing is really kind of like fitness. We all know we need it, but we all have different ways of getting there. Some people like to take more risk and just do crazier things that someone else might think is totally insane and never do, but it might pay or it might not. Some people are more safer and like to be more secure and not take risk and just be in real estate. So it all depends. I feel like lots of people nowadays pay attention to all these different gurus that tell you this is the way, you have to do this, invest in this. And I think there's wisdom in many different things that people say. It all depends on what your appetite is, like what you feel comfortable doing. Because if you're listening to your favorite guru and your favorite guru tells you to do X and you do X, but you do it with your heart in your mouth, you have anxiety, you can't sleep because your money's on the line, that's probably not your strategy as much as you believe in what they might be saying and if it might be valuable or not, but that's your money on the line. The way that you play the game is different than how they might play the game. So everyone needs to keep that in mind when you're living, because everything you do in life is a choice. Anything you put your money into, you choose to buy. Somebody else chose to buy Apple stock for $280 today, and you chose to buy used Jordans from a store for $300 today. Everyone makes different decisions. But if you want to actually have money and not be anxious and not move into 2026 with a kind of mentality that is not abundance, because I think everyone needs to have an abundance mindset. The team, I've been speaking with everyone that I know, abundance mindset is the key moving into 2026, believing that you already have the blessings you're trying to get. So making smart investments in anything you do and not being too much of a consumer, buying things that you know you need to excel your career and excel what you're trying to work on, your little side hustles or whatever it may be. But just spending money to, buy new clothes that sit in a closet and you never wear for that maybe one time I'll go out, those days are over. Clothes are expensive. You guys know what happened with the whole Shein thing, right? The prices went up like 50%. The shirt that was $4 is now $14. So it's not the same time today to be a consumer that it was before. I went to BJ's just to go get literally eggs, milk, some chicken, some vegetables and apples and cereal. And it was $98. $98 just for that simple thing. And a pack of water, a pack of Poland Spring. that eats into people's budgets. That eats into people's finances. Credit card delinquency rates are going through the roof. Why? Because people are using their credit cards, maxing out their credit cards just to pay for groceries. Well, we have the same conversation about people buying brand new Rolls Royces and G-Wagons. In the same economy, sometimes in the same state. That's how vast it is. So moving into 2026, if you're not already all in, you need to be all in. You need to be focused on what you can do to increase your value. It's not always about the business. You don't have to go out and start a business. If you have a job, if you have a corporate job, or if you have a partnership, you have to make sure that you're going 100% all the time. That's how you increase your value in any situation, not only just about your business. But odds are, you watching this, you have a certain skill set. You have something that you enjoy to do, something you like, something you're good at. You go online, there's people getting paid $700,000 to put a banana on the wall. Banana on the wall. He's a millionaire. So anybody can get rich. It's just about what you feel you have enough determination and enough fire inside you to go after and try to do. And you're going to mess up. You're going to fail. Things are going to suck, but things suck now. Things suck now with $7 a gallon for milk, you know, $8 for a can of eggs, for a basket of eggs. So even if you're not on the lower tier of the economy and those kinds of problems are not what you're facing, I think it speaks to everybody as a whole that even if you're making real estate decisions, you need to make smart ones. And that's without a given. Obviously, we all want to make smart real estate decisions, but don't let your decisions be because someone else pitched it to you or someone else gave you the statistics or someone else gave you the information. Do your own research, do the due diligence, work it out for yourself. And that's where the true value is moving into 2026. Something people can do for their taxes. A couple of months ago, the new tax bill by Trump was signed. So that's going to give a lot of people more tax return this year into 2026. But I think if you haven't, you should now be combing over all your credit card and debit card statements and see what of those charges are tax write-offs. I think that's where we're at in the month of December. It's kind of finding out where we were at spend-wise for the entire year. Whether you're doing your personal finance or you're doing your business finance, just go over everything. I honestly recommend you go over this once a month. But if you haven't, you still have time until the end of the year, moving into tax season to do it. Just kind of go over everything and see where can you have your tax write-offs, where can you carry over losses if you have them, and what credits you can apply for if it's your personal taxes. See what since the rules have changed, talk to your tax accountant and see what you can apply for, and see if there's some money there. But I'm on that same boat, just prepping for the new tax season, preparing the strategy into 2026, and approaching it with an open mind. So I think everyone should do the same. It's going to be an exciting year if you're locked in and focused on what you have envisioned for the future, working with your team and getting things done. And we're going to kill it. Our team's pumped, so we're going to keep bringing you content every week. We're going to be giving you up-to-date market analysis. And stay tuned. Drop a comment. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have some video recommendations, whatever you guys think is interesting to you. I'm looking forward to hearing back. Let's kill it.